Hi, lovely ladies and gentlemen. This is Tina. How are you doing? Okay, there is a lag and there's some funky coloring going on. Not sure what's going on. Oh my goodness. Just trying out my um, laptop to see if it's a good idea to do video from here. And by the looks of it, not so much. So I'm going to continue the message though. So the message is limiting beliefs. What are your beliefs? I've been noticing a lot of them coming up recently. So it's not uncommon, especially coming into the new moon, that we're things are rising to the surface so they can be released and let go. So what are you needing to release and let go? And what have you noticed is in the mind? What's the mind chatter? What are that voice in your head that's getting really loud and tells you you can't do certain things? What is that voice telling you? So is it telling you you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving, which are usually the top three? Or is it telling you simple things like you can't? Why even try? You've tried before and you didn't succeed. So if you try again, you're just going to be embarrassed and frustrated and angry and all the things. So, what is that inner chatter telling you? What is it telling you, especially when it comes to your health? So, this coming month in my group, I'm going to be really focused on health, and it's going to lead into a workshop, and then it's going to lead into a paid program. So I really want you to ask yourself these questions, like what kind of things are holding you back from being healthy? What are you telling yourself? Now, I've been in the wellness industry for over 30 years, and I understand and I get it. I gratefully have tools at my access to help myself if I have health issues. So we avoid pain as much as we possibly can, emotionally and mentally. But for some reason, we have a tendency to accept it as normal physically. So, especially as we get older, we have this notion that it's normal to be in pain. It's normal to have aches and pains. It's normal as we get older for us to experience something that's not comfortable. And we also have a tendency to suffer unnecessarily. So, I have a friend who's had a cold for over a month now. And instead of going to the doctors to figure out what's the best course of action, she keeps trying these different things. Now, how long, I asked her the other day, how long are you trying them for? She didn't really answer. She said she tries this thing, it helps for for a little while, and then she tries that thing. Well, that doesn't help tell me how much time, but I just decided I was going to leave it alone because there are certain people that are willing to listen and have an opinion received, and she was not one of them. So, and I can be guilty of this. I had this weird rash on my leg, and for months I just kept scratching it and itching it, and it got bigger and it got bigger. And instead of going to the doctors and looking for a solution, I allowed it to continue. And finally, it just got too much. And I then went to the doctors. But why are we doing this? It doesn't make any sense. So it's a human nature thing. And it's okay for us to wait and not go to the emergency or go to the doctor after a week or two. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking months. Why are we suffering when we don't have to? So this is the issue when it comes to physical health. And the other thing is that the more we suffer, then it creates a feedback loop. So now we're uncomfortable, we're in pain, or we're frustrated and upset at our bodies because we're going through something physically. And then we have stories that we tell ourselves about it. Oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Oh my goodness, it could be this, it could be that. And then our mind chatter starts to future project and create this loop of catastrophization. So we're making it bigger than it actually might be, and it could be bigger, and we're avoiding it. So what is the reason why you're not looking into why you're unhealthy or not feeling good? That's one. The other thing is that we don't want to create a story around it. We don't want to make it mean something. It just is what it is. So I had a rash. I went to the doctors. Eventually, the doctor gave me some steroidal cream or antifungal cream or something. I have no idea. I live in the Caribbean, so fungus is going to be something that is going to happen. And so I put that on within days of putting it on. It was such a relief. So we get caught up in our heads about these things. Either, and I can't even tell you why I was avoiding it. So it came and went. That was part of the issue. So it was fine. I had some topical creams here that I was trying. It would work for a little bit. It would feel better, and then it would come back again. And so um, after I went to the doctors, I realized that that was the best move. And for the next time, if there is a next time, that's the medication I will seek. So we want to pay attention to what's working and what's not working. So for our bodies, we have a tendency to ignore the pain. It's a very intriguing thing. So why do we ignore it? Because maybe in the back of our minds, we are worried about what it could actually be. And I really, again, encourage you not to leave it too long. You could go to a massage therapist, you could go to a chiropractor, you could go to an osteopath, you could go to a naturopath. There are lots of holistic healthcare practitioners you can go to help you figure out what's going on and possibly give you a solution, or at the very least recommend you go to the doctors. Okay. So I remember this one time there was this gentleman, and unfortunately I should have asked him to contact me to find out what the results were, but I was giving him a massage, and there was this lump on the side of his middle, like the side of the back. So I was massaging by the hip, and it was really noticeable. And I saw him twice, and both times I felt it. So sometimes it could be a muscle, and sometimes it could be what they call an adipose tissue or fat that gets trapped around in the muscle band itself. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything that was going to be possibly cancerous. So I recommended him to go to the doctor. I told him I didn't think there was a concern or a worry, but just to be on the safe side. If he ever did or not, I don't know. But that was my responsibility for me as a practitioner to recommend it to you. So are you following through on what your doctor is suggesting is the other question. So we're kind of resistant sometimes to doctors, and unfortunately, I get it. The doctors haven't given us a whole lot of um, confidence in themselves. Unfortunately, they have a tendency to prescribe and maybe prescribe more than they should. And so this is the other experience I had. My I am because I'm a health practitioner, I'm not quick to actually take medication, ask for it, or even if I was given the prescription to take it, unless I felt like, yeah, it's a solid yes that it's gonna help me. And so, but my cousin likes to take pills, and her mother liked to take pills. And so the same doctor, same experience, and she got medicine and I didn't because the doctor knew that I would question why he was giving me these things and the benefits of it and if it was any good and if it was going to help. And he just knew that she wasn't interested in any of that. She just wanted medication. So I caution you in taking everything that you're recommended as well, because there are overprescribing. But I really want you to take care of your body. That's the biggest thing. And I know some of my clients who have gone through cancer, they have a tendency to reject the area of trauma. And usually, especially for the women, if it's a breast, either biopsy or if they've had mastectomy, through the back is usually where the pain is. And this is where they hold the emotional cysts. So when we have these heightened traumas, then we can actually have a little PTSD, but it's emotional cysts. They get locked in at the cellular level and it has an effect on us. So again, it comes down to our beliefs, it comes down to our stories, it comes down to the thoughts and the feelings. And then we sometimes, if we have chronic pain, we actually identify with it. There was this one lady's profile that I crossed in Instagram, actually, a couple of ladies, and they'll say cancer survivor, narcissistic survivor, and or something warrior, whatever. And I'm thinking, why? Like, why would you identify with it? It's great that you've overcome it, and you don't want to identify with it because it's in the past. You want to move through it. So you don't want your beliefs to actually hold you back and keep you in that health loop of unwellness. Because there is not a question in my mind. I have an inner knowing that you can heal. I have helped people with cancer. I've helped a lady that couldn't walk for 10 years to be able to walk down her street completely unassisted without her double crutches that she was using. So it can happen for you. I really want you to know that. With all my heart, I know you can heal. And it can be health, it could be your mental health, it could be your emotional health, and it could be physical, or it could be all three. Whatever it is available for you. Our bodies are meant to heal. Our bodies have the solution. There is what I call the inner physician. It knows. If you tune in and tap into your body and your mind and you sit quietly and you take some nice deep breaths and you tap into your heart and you ask your body, what do I need? Your body will tell you. And sometimes you have to quiet the mind before you can hear the truth. So here's the difference with ego mind. Ego mind is loud. It can be angry. It can be negative. It could be negative feeling. It can be aggressive. It can tell you not nice things. That is not your intuition. That's your ego mind trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you in your comfort zone, trying to keep you from actually moving forward. And then there's the intuition or your inner voice, the inner physician, which will say, rest, breathe, meditate, go to the doctors, maybe even take care of yourself. It's about taking care of yourself. So many of us aren't doing that. Many of us are burnt out. Many of us are overworked and underpaid and stressed out. And stress, as far as I'm concerned, is the start and the end of all diseases, conditions, illnesses. It is the truth. And your stress levels need to be monitored and managed. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to find a way to figure out how to manage your stress. So, in my inner knowing, the clients that I've worked with who have had cancer and who have had this woman who had her experience with not being able to walk, it was because there were emotional holds and they didn't make themselves priorities. They weren't doing the self-care. They were taking care of everybody else. They were worried about everybody else. And they were last on the list if they were on the list at all. So I highly recommend and I highly encourage you to take some time to do what you love, to fill you up, to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's loving on yourself, doing something that you love that you haven't done for a long time. Whatever it looks like, do it. If you have the nudge, is what I call them, where there's a little voice in your head that says, go for a walk, then do it. Or do adult coloring. Whatever it is, do it. Life is meant to be happy. You are meant to be healthy. You're meant to thrive. I believe that with all my heart, body, and soul. If you have some health issues and you really want to investigate and look into it more and be able to have more of these conversations, then reach out to me in my Facebook group this month coming. I'm going to be really focused on health. And like I said, there'll be a masterclass that I'll probably do, and it's going to lead into a program so that we can actually start getting you healed, because it can happen for you. I promise you it can. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You can make some comments in the chat below, and I will come back and I will answer the questions. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.